We got our very first snowfall of the season this last week, which I think kind of officially closes my gardening and farming ventures for the year. And so I thought it would be appropriate to make a video kind of recapping how it went raising sheep, butchering chickens, and having a produce stand with a garden and trying to either save money or make a little bit of money through these ventures. And so let me start out by saying that if you are not a farmer or if you do not have a passion for raising animals or growing a garden, then farming is not a good way to make money. However, I like to view farming and gardening as my hobby. And I love what a friend of mine said that over the summer. She told me, most people's hobbies cost them money. My goal in particular is to either be saving myself money or be making a slight bit of money. And that means my hobby is basically entirely free. So if you are not a farmer and you're thinking about trying to do these things to make money, but you have no passion for it, I do not recommend these because it's not the way to go to make good money. But I'm going to tell you in today's video my fails, my successes, and then I'm going to move on to next year and talk about different things that I'm going to try and change to hopefully generate more money and hopefully just experience more success here on the farm and with my garden. Okay, starting out, my produce stand. I think I posted this video in June or July, and I'll link it down below, but I had my brother build me this little produce stand. I put it down by the road, and I started selling eggs, flowers, and produce from my garden. And overall, I would say this was a success, seeing that on our road, we only have about one car drive by every half an hour. And so I made close to $400 with this little produce stand, doing it a couple days of the week and not having a ton of people driving by. And so I was actually more than I had expected. It paid for all of my seeds for last year, all of my seeds for this year, and I'm going to put the rest of the money that I made probably into buying flower bulbs that I can plant and have bouquets to sell in the spring from. So I think if you live on a road that is really, really busy, this would be a tremendous way to make actually really good money with very little work. I viewed it as, well, I'm going to be out growing these exact same things in my garden anyways, probably growing the exact same amount. I'll sell anything extra that would just be wasted, and any money that I make is a bonus. And so that was kind of my mindset going into it. So overall, I would say I am happy with the amount that I made. However, I do think if you lived on a busier road, I know a lady and she lives in town. She sells flower bouquets. It makes a couple thousand every summer just through selling, a couple bouquets of flowers every day. So I think you have good possibilities, depending on where you live, to make a decent amount of money selling produce or flowers directly from your driveway at an honor system stand. So the next one that I want to move on to is the Cornish chickens. This was, I think, the fourth year that I've done this, although it was back a couple of years ago that I raised the first 3 batches. And after adding up all the numbers of the feed, of buying the chicks, we got 25 non-GMO, healthily raised chickens for free for ourselves. But other than that, I wouldn't say we actually profited any extra money off of it. And so if you want a good way to have healthy chickens for free, which are extremely expensive if you buy an entire healthy non-GMO raised chicken, this is probably a good option. You can sell enough to pay for your own and you get the free meat for the winter. However, as a way to make money, I haven't been able to quite figure out how to do it to actually make a good amount of money in return. I'm sure there are ways because I know people that do it, but the way that we raised them anyway, or maybe because we lost a fourth of them as they grew up, we weren't able to really make any money except we got our own meat for free. All right, the last thing that I tried this year that I've never done before was raising sheep. We bought 5 sheep. We got them for $465 total, and I would say sheep seem to be a good way to go as far as getting meat very, very cheap, because we haven't had to buy so far any hay or any grain for them for the entire summer because they've just eaten out of our field. So we basically got the equivalent of 5 sheep's meat for free. However, I do think unless you're going to butcher them yourselves, you probably wouldn't make a whole lot of money off of raising sheep. I'm not quite sure. I haven't talked to many people who have done it for a long time and have figured out the secrets. But for ourselves, it gives us free meat, and we can easily probably pay for our sheep by selling any extra meat that we have. All right, so there's kind of the rundown with the 3 things I've tried this year that are my hobbies, but I've also used them to either save money or to make a little bit of money. Now I want to move on to talk about next year and some different things I'm thinking about changing or doing differently to hopefully either save us more money or make a little bit of money on the side doing something that I love already. And so for next year, instead of doing the produce stand, I'm planning to put a flower stand at our new house. The road is a lot busier. I think I would experience pretty good success. I'll just make bouquets and sell them there the days that we're going to be there working anyway. A lady that I've observed about 10 miles away who lives on a road with similar amount of traffic sells bouquets, I think about 4 days of the week. She makes 6 bouquets a day. I assume they're sold for about $5 a piece. So that's $30 a day she's making with probably an hour worth of work. So I think it's a great idea and I'm excited to try it, and it's something that I love and I would want to do anyway. And so I'm excited if I can capitalize and make any money on a passion I'm already doing as a hobby and absolutely love. As far as the chickens go, I assume we'll probably do them again next year, but I think this will probably be something that we're doing more to save ourselves money by not having to buy meat, especially really unhealthy meat from the store that I just don't like the flavor of and don't like the taste of nearly as well, or the way that it's been raised. So really our goal with the chickens, I think, is probably just to not have to spend money ourselves. I would love to raise a pig next year, but we'll see. I'm not quite sure if we're going to do that. I don't know. We'll probably do the sheep again because it seems like a good way to go. And then we'll continue working on the remodel. So far, those are my gardening and farming ventures and the ways I'm hoping to save money or make money through this next year. And I'm excited to see how they will fare. So down the road, when we have our own farm, I have a lot of plans. My husband and I have big dreams and big goals for how we want to turn it into a business. But for right now, if it makes us any money or saves us money from our own pockets, we're extremely happy because, like I said at the start of this video, I don't think this type of lifestyle is a good way to make tons of money. However, that being said, I really view the more country living as an entire package that you're receiving. It's so much more than the money that you're making or the money that you're saving. It's the ability to grow healthy food that you've raised yourself, to eat fresh meat that you've grown on your own pastures. And so many of my most fond memories have involved living in the country, driving down a country road in a setting sun, watching orange shoot across the sky, or being out in my garden in the evening with the crickets and a cow wandering by in the pasture beside me. It is the lifestyle that I've always loved and I've always wanted to live, and I wouldn't trade it at all for more money. And so I hope this video just kind of conveyed that message, that it is so much more than the money if it's the lifestyle that you desire and want. And so thank you so much for watching. I'll link down below all the videos that these clips came from that I shared today, and I will see you hopefully next Saturday.